Woohoo! You have a brand new still. Congratulations. Or you're thinking about getting one. This video is gonna show you, teach you, explain everything you need to know from getting the thing out of the box to actually running your very first spirit. Exciting stuff. I was lucky enough to do some distilling work in Thailand recently, and I shipped one of our all-rounder stills over there to be able to use for R&D purposes. And I realized I've never made this video. This video is going to focus on the practical stuff that you actually need to do to the still, but there's something even more important that you need to understand before you get into this. If you haven't already researched all of the safety rules, all of the safety steps for distilling, you need to go do that now before you even watch this video. Press pause. I'll put a link in the description to my latest safety video. Watch that and then come back. Cool? The first thing to do, and this seems ridiculously obvious, but there is some method to the madness here, unbox it. And I would suggest the first thing to do is knoll all of the parts. What is knolling? Essentially pulling everything out onto a surface where you can actually see everything and organize it into these things are roughly the same. So put all of the gaskets in one place, put the bubble plates in another place, put all the little doohickey watsits, the little things with threads in another place. You get the idea, right? Knolling is going to let you do two things. Number one, you'll be able to double check that you actually got everything you paid for. That's a good thing, right? Make sure. And number two, it'll let you look at everything in a controlled, easy way and make sure you actually understand what all of those parts are for. And doing that is going to make the next part of the process way easier, both practically, logistically, but conceptually as well. And that is to build the still. Put it all together. A lot of stills these days are modular, which means you can put them together in different ways, which is cool functionally, but it does mean that when you're new to this hobby, it might be a little bit confusing how this works. So it's a great time to have a play with it. Put everything together, make sure once again that you've got all the parts and you know what everything does, but understand how to morph, to change, to evolve the still into different ways. And of course, get used to using things like tri-clamps if you haven't used them before. Once you're happy and familiar with the still, I want you to put it together in the most complex configuration. And what I mean by that is just use as many parts as you can. So normally that's going to be kind of in vodka mode or like the tallest reflux column mode, because you'll use the bubble plates and the column and the reflux condenser. And the reason you're going to do that is because we're about to clean the inside of the still, and if the parts aren't on the still, they're not going to get clean. Now there is an optional extra cleaning step here that honestly I don't do that often anymore, and that is to break the still down into bits, and any bit that is okay to put into water, just put it in a giant bucket or buckets, and then clean it with either PBW or something like Nappy Sand, a basic cleaner, basic as in not acidic. It's going to help if there's a whole lot of scum, oily residue, build up, anything like that from the factory. Honestly, I don't normally do that because I never really see it anymore. If you built your still from reclaimed, reused parts, probably is a good idea to do this step. I didn't do it for the all-rounder in Thailand. Next thing is to pick a spot where you're going to run the still. Once again, seems silly, but make sure you've considered all of these parts, because if you don't now, you're going to find out real quick that trying to move a full hot still sucks. So make sure you have access to whatever the heating is. So it's safe to burn gas there. You can get the gas to it, or probably most likely power outlet nearby. Water in. So you've got a tap, you've got a garden hose, you've got some way to get water to the still. And number three, don't forget about the water exhaust. Water out of the still, a sink, a storm drain, whatever it happens to be. Potentially the most important part is ventilation. Pick a spot that is well ventilated. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to go back and watch that safety video. Bonus points if you pick a place where you can make a wet, hot, sloppy, goopy mess and not get in trouble for it, because I'm telling you, at some point you will do that. You know how to put the still together. You've got a good spot to use the thing. We're going to fill it up with water, and we're going to fill it up quite full. Just the pot, don't worry about the column yet, just the boiler, the pot, the part where the liquid goes. Fill it above where you would normally fill it. Stand back and watch for about 2 or 3 minutes. Check for leaks. Is there anywhere that this could be leaking from? Any little things that clamp on, that screw on, that push in? Check those spots for leaks, because it's gonna suck if you get to the point where the thing's full and hot and it's leaking. Just check now. Tip all of that water out, because we're gonna fill it up again with a mixture of 50-50 vinegar to water. You could probably go more like 1/3 vinegar, 2/3 water if you want to, and save a bit of cash on vinegar. And you do not need, imagine this is the pot of your still. You don't need to fill it all the way to the tippy top. What you do need to do, we're getting into safety territory here, but I'll reiterate, pot, element sitting here. What you do need to do is ensure that you fill this thing enough that the element is completely and safely submerged, and will still be completely and safely submerged when we boil off a bunch of this liquid. Now it is finally time to turn the still on. So get the elements turned on, or the gas fired up. Heat the still however you're going to be heating the still. Once again, check the safety video. And then you can move on to the water. Test water going into both condensers, the reflux condenser and the product condenser, if you have to. Obviously, just test the one you have if you've only got the product condenser. Pretty dang obvious and just like common sense stuff, but it's really important to double check it. Make sure water's going in where you think it's going in. Make sure it's not leaking, and make sure it's exhausting out to where it's supposed to go. Once you're happy with that, you can turn the water off for now, because we're going to let the still get up to temperature and just blow steam everywhere. We want steam coming out the pointy end. The idea here, team, is that we want that vapor, that steam, to touch everything on the inside of the still. From the point of no return down through the product condenser, when the product condenser is running, the liquid is only going to touch the bottom side. If we push steam through it, it's touching everything, which is good, because we're using this acidic vapor to kind of help strip a bunch of stuff out that we don't want going into the final product that we drink when we make a real spirit. Let the steam blow for about 15-20 minutes. Once again, in a ventilated area. And this is a really, really good time to double check that nothing is leaking on the vertical column. Visually check for vapor coming out. Visually check for droplets of water coming out. Quick tip, pretty much everyone has one of these on them, right? And that is a glass surface that you can shimmy around all of the joins on the still. And if there is vapor coming out that you can't see, it'll probably condense on here. Another tip with the phone, you can turn the light on. Or, you know, go old school and use a flashlight. But the idea is you want to point the light from the other side of the still back towards you. That will backlight vapor coming out and make it a whole lot easier to see. So you can literally just go around the still like that. So after 15-20 minutes of steam cleaning, it's time to turn the water on. And this is the perfect time to just play with your still. Honestly, one of the biggest mistakes I see new distillers make so often is that they just kind of rush through to the point where they're making something they actually care about. If you're trying to learn how to drive, how to adjust your still, while you're stressed, worried, anxious about this stuff tasting good, you're just gonna have a bad time and you're not gonna learn much. The still's already hot, it's already got stuff in it. Take 10 minutes to turn the water condensers on and just have a play with the inputs. Play with how much power you put into the pot. Play with how much water goes into the reflux condenser, how much goes into the product condenser. And you want to be able to get to a point where you can adjust two things. Number one, the speed of the offtake coming out of the end of the still. If it's a pot still, That's pretty much all you can do. If you have a reflux still though, you want to also be able to play with those inputs to adjust the amount of liquid sitting on the plates, the amount of liquid falling back through the column. If you can do those two things on a still, you've pretty much got it sorted. Sounds simple, not simple. Have a play at this point, trust me. Once you're happy with that, turn the still off, let it cool down a little bit, because it turns out when a still is full of hot liquid and hot itself, it sucks to move around. Welding gloves, good. Big thick towel, also good. But empty the still out when you're comfortable doing so and give everything a really good rinse with water. We have one more thing to do before we actually make a spirit we drink, and that is the infamous Sac run, short for sacrificial run. We're going to put alcohol in that we're never going to drink because we're going to use it to ensure the still is clean. The vinegar alcohol duo works pretty damn well because they tend to clean out slightly different products. So if the vinegar didn't get everything, we're now going to use the alcohol to make sure that it finishes cleaning the still out, and also that anything that is alcohol soluble is going to come out now, not when we're actually trying to make something to drink. Literally whatever the cheapest way to get alcohol into that still is for you. I would suggest personally doing a really simple sugar wash because you'll get the practice of fermenting something ahead of time. I mean, it's cheap. You need some form of nutrients, sugar, and a baker's yeast. Totally fine for this. Charge the still, AKA just put the wash into the still, get it up and running like you did before, but this time we want to have the water running from the point that you even think that it might start getting hot enough to create vapor. Have the water running to both condensers, and as you approach the point where you think it's going to start boiling inside the pot, you can normally hear it. It's like a jug. You know how if you use an electric kettle or you're boiling water on the stove, it gets noisier and noisier and noisier, but then the sound changes and it turns to a boil and it's quieter. Like, I think you guys are going to be able to intuit this, but the idea is when you start getting close to the boiling point, turn the power down going into the pot as well. We want to sneak up on the first time you produce alcohol, not hit it with a hiss and a roar. Once you start getting an offtake, drips coming out of the end of the still, have a little play. Once again, get used to changing the variables on the still, how much power, how much energy you're putting into the pot, the amount of water going into the reflux condenser, and the amount of water going into the product condenser. It takes less energy to boil the alcohol, so the feel of the still is just going to be a little bit different. Run it like that for about 15-20 minutes, and I'm a little bit cautious to say this because there are safety concerns. But if you're comfortable doing it, and you're absolutely sure that you have really good ventilation, and there's definitely no ignition points anywhere near you, you can turn the water off and blow steam for about 5 minutes for the same reason that we discussed before. Once the still has been up and running for a total of at least 40 minutes, you can turn the whole thing off, empty it out, and give it one last rinse. And that means you're now ready to actually make some alcohol you can drink, which is really freaking exciting. And if you just got to this point, congratulations. That's awesome. Really, really awesome. If you're not sure what you want to make next, or make first, or your next 5 runs, I'm going to put some suggestions down in the description for recipe videos that I've made that are a little bit more in depth with the kind of tutorial side of things, and there are recipes that are specifically chosen to be easy to get into the hobby on. I'll make a little curated list in the description down below. Anyway, I'll catch you next time, team. Keep chasing. See ya.